The wisdom of nature. Lessons from the forest. Have you ever paused to truly listen to the forest? In this video, we journey deep into the heart of the forest, a living, breathing world where nature holds ancient wisdom about life, harmony, and resilience. From the hidden communication networks of tree roots to profound lessons on letting go, renewal, and stillness, the forest teaches us far more than any textbook ever could. In this video, you'll discover how trees connect through underground root systems, forming a living network. What the forest teaches us about the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Why biodiversity is the foundation of true resilience. The power of silence and slow rhythms as a language of deep intelligence. Let nature speak to you, not through noise, but through presence. Some lessons can only be felt in stillness. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe the wisdom of nature deserves to be heard. In this video, we will learn the following content together. 1. The forest, the ancient intelligence of nature. The forest is not merely a collection of trees and wildlife. It is a living intelligence. A superorganism that functions through symbiosis, communication, and adaptation. The structure of a primeval forest is the result of hundreds of millions of years of evolution, containing sophisticated mechanisms that modern science is only beginning to understand. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries is the Wood Wide Web, an underground network of roots and symbiotic mycorrhizal fungi that allows trees to communicate, exchange nutrients, and even warn each other of threats, similar to a nervous system in a unified organism. Contrary to the common perception of nature as a place of ruthless competition, trees in old-growth forests often cooperate in intelligent and purposeful ways. Older, mother trees share sugars and water with younger saplings through their root systems, ensuring the survival of the whole ecosystem in harsh conditions. Research by forest ecologist Suzanne Simard has shown that trees can recognize their kin and prioritize nutrient sharing with them. This suggests that forests not only live, but also remember, distinguish, and care, qualities traditionally associated with human intelligence. The forest's intelligence is not centralized. It is distributed, a decentralized form of cognition similar to neural networks or even the architecture of artificial intelligence systems. It teaches us that true wisdom may not come from individual brilliance, but from deep, resilient, and responsive connections between all parts of a living system. In an era of artificial intelligence and digital connectivity, the ancient intelligence of forests offers a compelling model for humanity to reflect on its own place in the web of life. 2. The cycle of life. A lesson in renewal and letting go. In the forest, nothing is wasted, nothing truly dies. Every fallen leaf, decaying log, or carcass becomes nourishment for something else. Death is not an end but a transition, a return to the web of life. This natural process of decomposition is governed by fungi, bacteria, and detritivores, which break down organic matter into nutrients that feed the soil. These nutrients, in turn, are absorbed by plants, continuing the cycle. What appears to be loss is, in fact, regeneration. The forest, in its quiet way, teaches one of the most profound truths of existence: to grow, one must learn to let go. This cyclical understanding of life stands in stark contrast to the linear mindset of modern civilization, which often equates growth with accumulation and success with permanence. But in nature, Renewal only comes through surrender. A tree must shed its leaves to survive winter. A flower must wither so its seeds can take root. Even ancient trees eventually fall, not as failures, but as donors of life to countless organisms that thrive in their decay. Ecologically, this closed-loop system is a model of sustainability, one in which waste becomes resource. Death feeds life, and change is not feared but embraced. Psychologically and philosophically, it invites us to reframe our relationship with loss. The forest does not cling, it trusts the rhythm of life. There is no resistance to change, only adaptation, transformation, and quiet continuity. In a world increasingly driven by control and permanence, this lesson from the forest offers a radical alternative: that resilience comes not from holding on, but from knowing when to release, and that true life often begins at the point where we are willing to surrender what no longer serves. Tree diversity, the root of stability and creativity. In the forest, diversity is not an incidental characteristic, it is the very foundation of resilience, adaptability, and evolution. A thriving forest is home to an immense variety of species, towering trees, mosses, fungi, insects, birds, mammals, bacteria, and more, all coexisting in a dynamic and interdependent network. Each species fulfills a unique ecological niche, contributing to the health and balance of the entire system. This biodiversity is what allows the forest to respond flexibly to disturbance, recover from disease, and adapt to environmental change. From an ecological standpoint, systems with greater biodiversity tend to be more stable and productive. For example, in a monoculture plantation, the spread of a single pathogen can wipe out an entire crop. In contrast, in a diverse forest, no single threat can destabilize the whole system, because functions are distributed across many organisms with overlapping but distinct roles. This redundancy is not inefficiency, it is biological wisdom, a form of built-in insurance. But diversity does more than preserve stability, it is also the engine of creativity. Interactions between species generate new forms of behavior, structure, and evolution. Fungi form symbiotic relationships with trees. Animals disperse seeds, and plants evolve to attract specific pollinators. These interrelations are not static, they are generative, constantly producing new combinations and possibilities. Diversity enables innovation, not by central planning, but through complex, decentralized collaboration. Socially and culturally, this ecological insight translates into a powerful metaphor: a healthy society, like a forest, thrives not in uniformity, but in the respectful coexistence of difference. It is not homogeneity but plurality that makes systems resilient and creative. In embracing diversity, biological or human, we honor the deeper intelligence of life. That strength is not in sameness, but in the harmony of multiplicity. 4. Silence, the deepest language of life. Silence in the forest is not an absence, it is a presence. A living stillness that holds meaning beyond sound. Walk into an ancient woodland, and you'll notice how the quiet is not empty, but full of rustling leaves, distant bird calls, the hush of wind through branches. This layered, organic silence is not void, it is communication beyond noise. A space where life is constantly unfolding in subtle, intentional ways. In the forest, most communication is nonverbal and imperceptible to the human ear. Trees speak chemically through pheromones, or via underground networks of mycorrhizal fungi. Plants detect and respond to touch, gravity, light, and even sound frequencies, often silently regulating entire ecosystems. This is not silence as absence, it is silence as attention. As attunement to the rhythms of life, the forest operates on slower timescales than we are used to, and in doing so, reveals that depth does not require volume. From a biological perspective, many of the forest's most vital processes, photosynthesis, nutrient cycling, cellular respiration, happen in profound quiet. Yet these silent functions are the very essence of life. Evolution itself unfolds silently over millennia, shaping life in ways both imperceptible and irreversible. In this sense, silence is not passive, it is the condition for emergence, regeneration, and deep connection. Psychologically, modern humans are starved for this kind of silence. Bombarded by noise, literal and mental, we often mistake stillness for emptiness. But the forest shows us another way of knowing that silence is not the absence of meaning, but its most refined form. It teaches that listening is more powerful than speaking, and that by quieting ourselves, we open to a deeper wisdom, one that does not shout, but waits patiently to be heard. 5. Slow, the sustainable rhythm of existence. In the forest, everything moves at its own pace, and it is this deliberate slowness that sustains life. From the growth of a towering oak to the slow decomposition of fallen leaves, the rhythm of the forest is not governed by speed but by time, a patient, measured unfolding that allows systems to thrive in harmony. This slow pace is not inefficiency but a fundamental strategy of sustainability, enabling the forest to endure through cycles of change, disturbance, and renewal. One of the most remarkable examples of slowness in nature is the growth of trees. A tree may take decades, or even centuries, to reach its full potential, but it does so steadily, using its energy to expand its roots deep into the soil and its branches wide to capture sunlight. The forest, as a whole, grows in slow, interconnected ways, with each species contributing to the stability of the system. The seemingly slow process of photosynthesis, where plants capture energy from sunlight and convert it into sustenance, is one of the most energy-efficient processes in nature. Operating over vast periods of time yet producing the oxygen and biomass that sustain life. This slowness of nature challenges the human obsession with speed and instant gratification. In an era defined by rapid technological advancement and fast-paced lifestyles, the forest invites us to reconsider the value of taking time, of pausing to observe, reflect, and regenerate. Research in psychology and physiology shows that slower, more mindful ways of living can lead to greater well-being, lower stress, and improved cognitive function. Biologically, systems that function at a slower pace often exhibit greater resilience. Slower growth allows for careful adaptation, while fast growth can lead to fragility and collapse. The forest teaches us that sustainability comes from embracing the slow rhythms of life, those that allow for thoughtful, deliberate actions, and the long-term care of ecosystems, relationships, and ourselves. Thank you for watching The Wisdom of Nature. Lessons from the Forest. We hope this journey through the ancient wisdom of the forest has inspired you to embrace the profound lessons nature has to offer. The teachings of renewal, diversity, patience, and silence are not only relevant to the forest but also to our everyday lives. If you found this video meaningful, please like, share it with others who may benefit from these insights, and subscribe to our channel Eastern Wisdom Today for more thought-provoking content on ancient wisdom and modern living. By joining our community, you'll stay connected to more videos that explore the timeless wisdom of the East and the profound teachings of nature. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to sharing more with you soon.